These are recorded. It is Wednesday, November 4th, day after the election here, but we still have no results. So the market is getting kind of crazy based on that. Last night, there was a ton of volume stepping in. Let me get my video on. There we go. What's up? What's up? So yeah, last night, obviously, a lot of swings here. Yesterday, this gap up, this gap down. So we're going to cover DXY first. Guys, if you don't know what DXY is, it's just the value of the US dollar. It's the US dollar currency index. So this is a good pair to use. We don't actually trade it. This is a good pair to use just to gauge how strong the US dollar is, what the trend of the dollar is. In this live session, for you guys that haven't been on here, we're going to do top-down analysis. So what that is, we're going to go from the higher time frames down to the lower time frames, and we are going to see what our bias is on every single time frame so that we can put it all together and apply our technical analysis to the lower time frame and look for potential entries. So we're going to start off on DXY. We're either going to start on the monthly or the weekly time frame. This one we could start on the monthly time frame. Let's get everybody in here. This one we're going to start on the monthly time frame. So with DXY on the monthly time frame, it is very clearly bearish. We've got the moving averages crossing right here, red over blue. Now, the moving averages that we use is 8 and 18 days. So this is just more indicative of short-term trends. The 200-day is more of the long-term outlook. And as you can see, 200-day on the US dollar, we still are above the 200-day moving average. So price at the moment is still more valuable than it has been over the last 200 days. So that is definitely a bullish indicator. We have all this room that we could potentially push down into this level again, like we had seen previously right here. So, we just got to keep that in mind. So as we are, where we are right now is kind of just one look. So we had this doji candle last month. This month has opened up to be very much bearish here. As we can see, we're pushing a little bit lower. Moving averages are pointing down. So DXY in this time frame, again, just one look, looking very bearish. Then coming down to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, when we're talking about structure, guys, this right now is at a low. So this right now is at a low point in the market. We're below the moving averages right now. We're fighting to close below the blue and red moving averages right here. And as I said, this month has already started, has already opened up to be quite bearish here. So keeping that in mind as we bump down time frames, let's bump down to the daily. So the daily and the 4-hour are going to be time frames that we actually look for structure. We got Nick joining up here. What's up, Nick? What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
So yeah, I'm just going over DXY, the almighty, almighty God. All right, so daily and 4-hour are just going to be time frames that we look at structure on. As we can see on this daily time frame, it is respecting very bearish structure here. So we had this high point to this low point right now. We pulled back all the way to 38.2, right around that area. And then we pushed a bit, moving, started to cross. And then, we don't want to get confused with everything going on here. This is still very much bearish. We came up, we tested this resistance level right here. And as you can see, we're pulling back quite a bit. Like me and Nick like to say, the news seems to accelerate the trend. So the news last night came up, grabbed price all the way up here at this like 94, 250 level, right around this level, and continued lower. So, it had this huge bearish engulfing candle on Sunday. So this thing is really continuing with this bearish trend right here. And if we bump down time frame, so daily, I like to bump down to the 1-hour and get a look at structure and everything going on here. We could see on the 1-hour time frame, although choppy, we had a bullish trend, making highs and higher lows, high and higher low, made this new high, and then we broke structure right here. So we had this break right here, and the first entry opportunity for this is going to be always on a lower high, and a lower high is not going to form until we pull back. We're going to bring this on. So we pull back, and we move this up. So we got our fibs from our high to our low. right here. So a lower high is not going to form until we pull back at least this 38.2. Moving averages crossing, indicating that we're retracing, and this thing pulled back all the way up to this 88.6 level, started rejecting, 78.6, started rejecting, and we had this entry candle right here, but the volume was a little crazy last night. This was also at 5 a.m. You know, we had this bearish fallout through the moving averages. We had the cross, everything like that. Right now, to pretty much enter on this at the moment, I would go down to the 30-minute. First off, I would come up. I would say this right here is definitely a level of support. As you can see, we're rejecting this level right now. We got the 200-day moving average right there, last line of defense. 30 minutes already very clearly bearish. So if we get some sort of movement below this level, that's when we're going to sell. On the flip side, if this thing does come up, if this thing comes back up to retest this level, retest this random line we have here, and the moving averages comes back up to this like 38.2 level, that's also going to be a key area. So two areas that we're looking for entries right now on DXY, or I guess not entries because we're on DXY, but we're just looking for this to continue to be bearish. It's either going to find resistance here or we're going to head lower at this point right now. So DXY, we're looking bearish on this on multiple time frames. So we're going to keep that in mind as we get into GU, because if DXY is bearish, GU will most likely be bullish. And we were talking about this yesterday, actually, or 2 days ago, or yesterday. So GU I'm bullish on. So let's look at multiple time frames here. We'll bump up again, do the top down analysis. So up to the monthly time frame, this is really what I'm looking at. Is we had, let me just zoom this out a little bit. Is up on this monthly time frame. We had this break of the moving. So we had the moving average cross. We came up. Yeah, we tested this high right here, and then we had this doji candle form. So we're finding support on this moving average. So this is indicative of me thinking that these moving averages start to point up. So bulls are stepping in. As we bump down to the weekly time frame, we can see price action has continuously failed to form bearish engulfings, and on the flip side has actually had a lot of bullish momentum here, forming a lot or closing above this 200-day level multiple times. So at the moment, we're still above this 200-day moving average. Looking for price to really push back into this upper level. That's where a lot more sellers came in previously. So we're keeping that in mind right here. So let's just look at the lower time frame, daily time frame. So daily time frame has been bullish. We came up, made this high, came down, and then pretty much right here, we made this next higher low at 61.8, pushed up. These were all buys. And then we had this cross. So this cross was making me hesitate to wait to be to look for sells on this. And then we just had this huge bullish candle. Let's go down to the 4-hour. So 4-hour time frame structure is very much bullish right here. So we had, once this level was broken, we had this higher high, pulled back, higher low, pushed up to this new high right here. And then we pulled all the way back to this 100% level. We had this demand zone right here. I have that 4-hour support level marked. And then we had this push up. So this was that 4-hour push that we needed. And as you can see yesterday, fucked everything up, made this a little bit more confusing. But as I bumped down to the 30-minute, this is pretty much what I'm looking for on the 30-minute time frame. So we had this break all the way down here. We had this break of structure. We broke 30-minute structure that was downtrends. As you can see, this thing was steady trending downwards. Right here, we broke that to the upside, pulled back, found support at this level, and then we came up through the moving averages. So we could even bump up to the 1-hour. Let's clean this up a little bit. 1 hour's similar right here. We had the break of structure actually at this level. This was a major break right there. Hold on, lower this a little bit. Oh. So we had this, the actual break right there, retest, again, all in this 1 hour time frame, had this bullish engulfing here at the bottom. Now we're moving through the moving averages. When would I take potential entries on this? So as I'm looking at it now, this thing's coming back into this 200-day moving average. So basically, we need to find support. We need to prove that this move is legitimate. We're hitting some resistance here. So as this thing pulls back, I'm going to look for some buy opportunities based on how it reacts really to this 200-day. It's got to hold above this level on this 1 hour time frame. And then we're going to look to swing this into, again, this overall trend, which is very clearly bullish. We just rejected the 200-day on this time frame again as well. So that's the current setup on GU. You know, if it correlates well with DXY goes down, GU will continue to go up, and that looks like with the uncertainty around the election and with all the ballots and all that, it seems as though DXY is going to continue to be bearish. The dollar is going to continue to go down. So this would line up directly with that. So that's GU. Let's go over now to NU. Let's bump up to the monthly time frame. All right, so NU is looking fairly similar right here. We have, all right, so this is what we have on NU. We have this moving average cross. We're coming up to this resistance level that was tested previously 1, 2, 3 times. Previously, we failed to head lower. We had this seller's exhaustion right here. Then we had this doji, so that's reversal. As we come down to the weekly time frame is still in this interesting area. You know, it's at this level of resistance, so I don't exactly want to take buys right now. As I come down to the daily, we have this flag marked out actually on NZD USD. So this on the daily time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we had this break of minor structure right here. And now we're in between forming, we're battling to form a lower high right now. We're consistently failing. So this thing is still just in a retracement. So I'm going to bump down to the 4 hour. 4 hour time frame has been showing us a flag pattern. We've been watching this for quite some time right here. So pretty much only way to trade this at the moment is to trade the channel. So we have these highs and we have these lows. Ideally, I'm looking for sells, honestly, at these highs. As you can see right now, we're finding some support at the 200-day. We're moving up back into this upper level. So pretty much what I'm looking for is I'm looking for sells at the top here. I drew this yesterday. We're not taking any sells at the bottom until this lower channel is broken. So we're not taking any sells until this channel is broken. And yeah, so at the moment we're moving up. So I expect this to move higher in correlation with GU. I expect this thing to move higher into this level. We can go down time frames, look at the chop. We have this break right here. So we have this break of support on this 30-minute time frame, and now we're pulling back. So as this thing heads higher, we can look for potential entries all the way up until this 88.6 level, all the way up until, or I need to, oh yeah, that's good. All the way up until this 88.6 level, we can look for sell opportunities. And, you know, this correlates with GU, as I do think that this will push a bit higher. But if DXY ends up finding support and ends up moving higher against the trend, then we can expect short opportunities to come in on NU. So it's okay that this analysis is a little bit different than the one that we have for GU. If anything, we're just going to take advantage of whichever one executes first. So NU, we're looking for shorts at the moment. You know, could come up. Talking about lower time frame structure, we had this lower time frame downtrend. Let's look just immediately at this area with higher high, higher low. It moved into an uptrend. We broke the 200-day, came up to this high, made this higher low, came up to a new high, and then we broke this level. So lower time frame trend is bearish. We're in a retracement. So expect to see something from this today, and we'll keep you guys updated, but no trades at the moment on this one. So let's go over to USEF. Let's take a look. So this was USEF. We had this marked out yesterday. This is actually getting interesting. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. Oh, so USEF might be the closest one to an actual trade right now. We have monthly time frame, very bearish. Moving averages still very much pointing downward, not even flattening out at all. So still very bearish on USEF on the monthly. Down to the weekly time frame, we are still below this moving average. We're fighting it right now. We're finding some resistance. Let's go down to the daily and see where we can see the trend. So daily very clearly is bearish. We came back up, hit this 38.2, came down. Now we're potentially forming another lower high point. And we just had, I believe I posted this analysis yesterday. So last night or yesterday morning after the live session, this is what we had been looking for. We had been looking for this break and retest on this one. So we've been following this one. And let's go down now. So we have this daily bearish engulfing. And we were looking for this break right here. So we broke lower, retest right there. Entry opportunities pretty much kicking in right as this happened. This is the true entry opportunity, really right here. That's the best entry. So let's take a look. Let's take this off. Pretty much right now, when would we enter again on this? So when would we have our next entry opportunity? So we have this support level, turn resistance. We just broke through the 200-day. And as we even come down to the 30-minute, we're still very much bearish on this. So we're a little bit late to the party on this. What I would do if I were to short this, what would we be targeting? So let's bump up to the daily time frame. As we can see, we've hit these lows multiple times and have failed to break. So we would have to target this support level again as I come down back to the 1 hour time frame. What I would do with this, because ultimately, guys, what would be better since we're late on this would be to wait for a retest. And just have patience, guys. So have patience, wait for the retest. And if this thing does retest, we'll short it right away. If you were to enter right now, it would be fairly aggressive, but the confirmations are there. I would want to put stops at least above this 200-day moving average, maybe a bit higher, maybe even above this cross right here around 40 pips. We could see how it skews the risk reward right there. So the better option would be really to wait for the retest right now on USAP. If this thing comes a bit higher, then I could see it pushing lower again. So USEF correlating well with DXY. If DXY pushes down, USEF will push down as well. So this thing is looking solid. This entry came in at 5 a.m. So we had some entries come in early in the morning, today, but this is not saying we've been expecting this, but our analysis lined up very, very clearly with what this is doing. And it's bearish on every single time frame right now. Yeah, it's bearish on everything. So this is going to be a good position to get in, high probability trade to get in. So we'll keep you guys updated. Again, if you were to enter right now, you'd have to put your stops at this level at a minimum. And you're not too safe right there. It'd be better if I were to bring on my fibs right here. We're not even using the 38.2. Ideally we'd have our stops like all the way up here. So if we can get some sort of retest, that would be better. If we could enter actually up here, and then we could move our stops a little bit more than our target.
But this was kind of expected too, as to add on to what Angelo was saying is, not this, exact move, let's say, but expected volume. I mean, this week is definitely, driven by the fundamentals, by the election going on. The dollar is definitely going to have some uncertainty, but also uncertainty with volume. So look at this huge spike, this up spike here, this rally, and then a quick reversal with tons of bearish pressure. So just tons of volume is going to be present this week. So just be aware of that in your trading, guys. Maybe use a little bit of reduced risk. Maybe stay out of a couple trades until things sort of settle. But yeah, it's definitely going to be very volatile, very speculatively driven this week. So just keep that in mind, guys.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, this is looking extremely bearish. So get ready for this one. I'm gonna move this up the list. We're gonna get ready for some entries on that. And let's go over to UCAD. So UCAD's looking similar. All right, so UCAD's looking similar, but at the same time, we're gonna be a little bit more patient on this. So let's go up to the weekly time frame, again, all the way up to the monthly, doing some top-down analysis. So last month closed with this doji candle. We had the moving averages crossing here. So monthly time frame is very much bearish right now, very much bearish. Weekly time frame, we came all the way up to retest this this upper moving average right here. Obviously, found a lot of rejection at that level. We had been holding at this 200-day. So pretty much as we come back down to this level right here, this is when we're going to be looking for potential entries on this down to the daily. So daily time frame has been bearish in every single way. As we can measure this out, we hit the 61.8, came down, hit 50%. So this thing is just ranging within this daily bearish trend. That being said, we can come down to the 1 hour time frame. So down to the 1 hour, I'm gonna take this off. We had our break of structure up here, and that came all the way up to be retested. Could draw our lower time frame fib, came up to the 61.8 level right here, found resistance, pushed all the way through. So now at this point, we formed structure. So we formed our lower high. So 1 hour time frame confirmed that we changed trends right here. So we're in a downtrend. We're bearish on every single time frame, every single upper time frame. What would we need to enter at the moment since we're all the way at this low and we can't really put our stops anywhere? What I would do is once price reaches this support level, so this is that previous daily support level that we had marked. Once it reaches this level, if it does have some sort of break and retest here, as opposed to right here, and we're gonna sit on the 1 hour because this is where we're looking at structure. So if this thing does break and retest on this 1 hour time frame, that's where we'll enter. So it's just this is the next level of support. It gives us another confirmation within this overall like trend that we're in. More ideally, if this thing pulls back a bit, back up to this 38.2, then it'll give us a nice risk reward opportunity right there. So this freaking thing. So UCAD is getting ready for sells as well, and we'll keep you guys posted. Not there yet. Gotta be a little bit more patient on this, but we're definitely shaping up for good sales. So I'm gonna move this up. Boom. Let's go to Euro USD. Bump up all the way up to the monthly. So monthly time frame. Let's take off this fib. All right, so monthly time frame, we are pointing upwards with our moving averages. Obviously we had a lot of bullish pressure here moving to the upside. We had this last month closed, no wick, so a lot of sellers stepped in last month. So we're below this weekly resistance level. So a lot of resistance on EU right now. Coming down to the weekly, EU is very bearish, have this bearish engulfing candle. So this thing, again, is looking very bearish at the moment. We're below the moving averages. Coming down to the daily time frame, we actually came up here. We hit 38.2. We formed this higher low right here. So daily time frame was showing some bullish structure, and then we made this lower high point. So we made this lower high point right here. We tested this daily support level. We had this huge bullish, like basically an engulfing candle, just bullish variation candle right here. So ultimately, guys, on this one, we are looking for this bullish trend to continue. But at the moment, until we get above these moving averages, I will not look for any buys. If anything, I'm looking for this thing to continue to sell off a bit. So as I come down to the 4 hour time frame is very much bearish. So we broke this level and we had this marked out yesterday. So yesterday we were right here. Let's go over real quick. Yesterday we were right here and we had broken this 4 hour level and we were saying that this level, this 38.2, I can move this down a bit, move this down a bit. So we were saying that yesterday as we came back up, this was our first entry zone or just area of multiple confirmations, and the next one was up at this 61.8 level. We could see we actually came up. Last night was obviously, like Nick said, a lot of volume. Came up, had this huge bearish engulfing large wick, and then this thing sold off about 80 pips. So it pushed off that 38.2. Now we're pushing back up to test this level again. So we're back into our like entry zone, back into our bearish confirmation area. So we need, I think I'm in the 30-minute broke structure right here, broke support. So we need just some sort of push rejection of this level. We need this 4 hour to close with a large wick. As we can see, this thing's pushing down. We need this level to hold, and then we'll look for sell opportunities right after this. So pretty much we need this level to close, very much bearish, in the next 30 minutes. And then the following hour is going to be when the entry would actually present itself on this. And we would need to get a bit lower. Let's redraw this. We would need to get through these moving averages right here. So this thing would have to come a bit lower for us to trade. So this is the potential entry on EU. So EU and NU are lining up to be in line with DXY going bullish right here. And then GU, UCAD, and USEP are in line with DXY continuing to sell off. So two different stories right here with these pairs. Doesn't mean one's right or wrong. Basically, whatever one executes, whatever DXY shows us is where we're going to take this trade. So DXY is very much bearish on like every single time frame, so it would make sense that it continues to the downside on this one. So last pair I'm going to go over is GJ. So let's go to GJ. This thing's looking crazy.
There.
What?
You broke that little neckline, retested it, presented it engulfing off that 4 hour. This looks a little more clear compared to some of the other pairs.
What this thing?
Yeah, I think so anyway.
Yeah, let's go up to the weekly. Let's go like this. So I had been bearish on this one. Weekly, we got these moving averages crossing. So we're like forming some sort of lower high here. As I come down to this daily level, daily was same thing. We formed this lower high. We broke this level of support right here. We're fighting this 200-day on the daily down to the 4 hour. Very clearly broke this level of support, pulled back, hit this 61.8. Again, yesterday, this is what we were looking for, guys. We were looking for this pullback to at least this 38.2 area, this previous level of support. And we pulled back pretty much damn near close to that area. A lot of wicks. And like Nick's saying, now as we go down to the 30-minute, this is probably the best entry, honestly, at the moment.
Yeah, like right where price action is right now.
Yeah, so if you guys wanted to get in on this, this would be a solid little trade that we're getting. Reason why we would enter right here is we have this 4 hour, this freaking 4 hour wick. I would even wait 30 minutes though. This 4 hours looking crazy. So we had 4 hour broke structure came up, large wicks formed, this bearish engulfing candle. But now I look at it, this is a huge wick right here.
Yeah, that's a big wick.
It's huge wick. So let's go down to the 30-minute. So it's good that this has covered at the moment. We still have this 200-day right here. So if anything, if you entered now, I would lower the risk. And then if this thing breaks this 200-day level, then it's really going to fall. It's really going to fall out there. So GJ is shaping up for a definite short. What I would target on this one is I would just target down to this daily support level. So let's bump up
On the
the
27th.
daily. Yeah, we have this daily support level all the way down here. First we can obviously target this. We'll target 1-to-1. That's our first level, first take profit level. and then we'll look for this thing to go even lower. So down to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah. So let's wait for a 1 hour closure on this one. As the 1 hour closes, it'll be a good entry opportunity on this. But GJ is looking like the best trade for this morning, for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's set up nicely. It's what you want to see, despite everything else happening. I mean, that's it's a pretty clear trade from technical standpoint, anyway. But
Yeah.
good analysis. Good analysis.
Let's bump up to yeah. So that's all that I have for you guys. I'm gonna pass this over to Nick. I did GJ, and I did USEF, UCAD, GU, NU, and EU. So you guys can catch that in the replay. We're also going to do a giveaway this week, so you guys can put in the chat your Discord names if you guys want to get involved in the giveaway. It'll be announced later in the week. So I'm going to let Nick share up here. There we go.
All right, guys. So we're going to start off a little bit differently, different kind of chart. Just want to go over some current events, if you will. So, I mean, obviously the biggest fundamental driver right now is this election. So I just want to show you guys where we're at currently. Still no winner has been declared yet, but currently this is what we're looking at, right? So obviously any movement that we see right now, pre-decision, is driven by speculation. So all that volume we just covered on the chart, speculation, is people tuning into the news, people interpreting the news and then kind of running with that. So all that volume just means that there's an influx of traders, taking positions based on, some sort of, bias or news that they heard. So nothing is definite yet, but there's one thing that we can definitely be sure about. The volume is going to continue as long as this election is going on, as it's developing, as we're nearing, a winner or a decision, the volatility is going to pick up. Okay, so just be aware of that. As long as this is, undecided and this election's going on, there should be a good amount of volume. But yeah, there's only a few states left. So the ones that are kind of like dulled out here, they're still indecisive, but they're leaning towards whatever the hint of this color is. So these are hinting toward red, which is Trump. These are hinting toward blue, which is Biden. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, if Trump wins all these reds, he'll win. I don't think that he'll have enough. Biden will have enough with just these two. So Biden needs to pull a move on one of these other states over here to really pull through this. I mean, he needs, was it 70, 270? So he's pretty far off. He's pretty far off. But there's 83, I think, left still up for grabs. So 10 from Wisconsin, 16 from Michigan, Pennsylvania 20. So what I'm counting here are the electoral votes, right? Electoral college votes. That's what's important here. So I'm just showing you guys how many of those votes are still up for grabs. That's what this calculation of 270 is here. You guys can see that. It's counting electoral votes. Okay, electoral college votes. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff, guys. For those of you who haven't traded an election before, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely filled with volatility. And yeah, it's interesting. It's a learning experience for everybody. So yeah, definitely interesting markets. I mean, anyone who started trading in 2020, guys, I kind of feel bad for you. It being COVID year and then election year, it definitely makes for interesting market conditions. So good experience all around, guys, right? At the end of the day. All right, so let's jump over to some charts. We got DXY here. I'm not going to go too much into details. Angelo pretty much just covered it. Overall, we are very bearish, however. And then on the 4 hour, we saw a massive rejection from this 4 hour zone after an increase in volume. Okay, so it's still kind of early to see where DXY is going to go. We did just have this huge volume, step into the market, kind of just accelerating the trend, didn't break to a new high. It met the prior high, and then fell back towards the low below this 4 hour. So it could kind of go either way. Let's go to the 4 hour. We either see a lower high off this 4 hour zone, bearish rejection, we'll see a movement lower, or we'll get some sort of closure above this 4 hour, look for a higher low, and then we'll take it from there. So, I mean, I don't think this is going to choose a direction just yet. Like, just because, one of these, either Biden or Trump wins, it's not going to be like, oh, Trump wins, so we're bullish. Biden wins, so we go bearish. I don't think it's going to be that clear cut. I think it's just going to be kind of all over the place until the market settles down and the speculation dies off. Then we'll resume, the overall trend. We'll stick to our analysis. And, again, news just kind of accelerates the trend. So our bias here is still pretty much the same. This analysis was drawn like this bearish option here and this bullish option was drawn before this volume kicked in. And, this is still very much in play. So we're waiting for either of these scenarios. Lower high to the downside, higher low to the upside. All right, so technicals are king here, guys. Just, bump up time frames when things get a little crazy and put things into perspective. Right, jump up time frames, see that it's just accelerating the trend. All that volume did for us was give us some wicks. That's it. No sweat, right? All right, let's move on to the next, or our first pair rather, AU. So let's zoom out. Overall, we're still very much bullish as we got a daily transition of trend once we broke through this weekly zone. And I have it here labeled as a weekly break of structure. So we broke that, rallied higher. Let's drop down and take a look at this bit of price action above this monthly. All right, so here was that break here. Here's that weekly break. We got an ascending channel. Then we broke a daily higher low. So the daily changed to bearish. Price action dropped to test the weekly break of structure. Gave us a double bottom, rejected. Tested daily break of structure. Got real choppy. Started going sideways. And continued to go sideways pretty much up until this point. So we're still sideways. We do have an increase in volume. That's expected. We are getting a higher low above this 4 hour. So that's a good zone. Definitely hinting more towards the bullish outlook here. But still very much below this daily. So we really need to see it break higher. Higher low above 72 flat. So daily zone, nice psychological level as well. Some good confluence there with these MAs. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Oh man. All right. So yeah, good confluence there with the MAs and all the confirmation in this area. So a nice push to the upside, higher low above this daily would confirm this as a bullish continuation. However, if we get rejection here, look for some lower high below this 4 hour, and then look for a play into this weekly, reanalyze, and then decide if it's going to either break or reject from this monthly zone. And then we can make some trades based on that. But let's just go to the daily here for a second. I just want to show you guys the zone that we're in. It's a pretty big area. So this is more or less a range, right? So we do have key resistance at the daily. We do clearly have key support at this monthly. We've tested 3 times already. So whichever way this goes, it's going to be a pretty decent move in terms of it's going to be a pretty large move. It's going to be a daily move here probably. Whether we break this lower high and get a nice bullish rally into a new high, or we break this monthly and then we see this thing tank, absolutely tank. So big movement expected on AU. We'll keep you guys updated. Keep an eye on premium analysis. Follow along with our analysis that we post in the public channels. So definitely a large move coming on AU, I think. All right, let's move over to AJ. Expecting something pretty similar, as these two are very correlated. Let's zoom out for a second. Overall, this is still bearish, right? We did get a little break here. Broke this lower high. It's a weekly transition, but key resistance here at this monthly zone, we saw massive rejection from there. So overall, on the much higher time frame, this weekly, at least monthly, very, very bearish. Very, very bearish. All right. So let's zoom in on the 4 hour here. Get a closer look. I'm going to go from the daily to the 4 hour. So bearish, 4 hour, little choppy. Here was that rejection from the monthly. We got a daily break of structure once this higher low was broken. Just like we saw in AU, weekly break of structure was tested, followed by a daily test. Then it reverses quickly, breaks to a 4 hour level right here, gives us rejection once, twice, third time off this volume that we saw last night, which finds us still at resistance. Again, it's just accelerating the trend, guys. This did not break anything. If anything, it came back up to confirm this resistance for a third time. So we'll see. And it looks like it is. Let's go right to the 1 hour. Let's just go up, come up with some new trade scenarios. Let me just adjust some of these levels here. Okay, looking good. All right, perfect. So here is that test, right? Here's the volume stepping in. Price action came back up to test this 4-hour level once again, but still very much bearish. So let's go over a couple trade scenarios. Get this going. I want to expand this a little bit. All right. Man, why is this thing struggling? I'm gonna go to the 4-hour and draw this out. Man, Macs are so loud. Their fans are just absolutely
The
insane.
Mac.
Yeah, this thing sounds like it's
chugging.
It's pulling a train or something, doing the most. Anyway, so massive rejection from this 4-hour. What we want to see is some sort of lower high below this 1 hour, and then more conservatively, a lower high below the MAs and this weekly structure level. Then we could take some serious shorts into negative levels, and of course, major support levels. So this is a move that we'd be very interested in. Some sort of cross. Honestly, I would enter on a nice bearish engulfing right through the MAs and this weekly zone. I wouldn't even wait for the retest. I think that would be enough confirmation for me. But anyway, for the sake of analysis, this is what we're looking for. All right, and to consider long opportunities, what needs to happen, guys? Oh, higher low above this 4-hour. That's right. Whoever said it, I heard somebody say it. Right. So higher low above this 4-hour. Entering on those bullish setups, and then we're targeting into key resistance, this monthly being first, and then we'll reanalyze again as we approach those significant levels. We'll always reanalyze, apply new trade scenarios, and trade accordingly. So this one's looking pretty good. I like the way AU is developing. It's playing out pretty nice. Yeah, 2 great scenarios. Again, just got to wait for some sort of conviction. Not interested in this half-assed volume, kind of stepping in and then pulling back. No real conviction there. There's no weight. That's just speculation. So we'll wait for that to die off, and then we'll get some good trades in here. All right, so that's AJ. Let's move on to UJ. Daily time frame to start. Overall bearish. I mean, this one is just, there's not much to say about this in terms of trend other than it's just been bearish on all time frames. Super, super bearish. We can clearly see a giant descending triangle here. Again, key support is at 1045. So that's the level to watch. How price action reacts at 1045 is going to determine a lot, all right, especially if we get a break. So let's drop down to the 4-hour now. Get a closer look at current price action, which is resting right at 1045. As you guys can see, price action has just been getting slammed into this support. Just lower high after lower high. Price action just comes flying into 1045, rejects, flying into 1045 again, rejects. But there's something different happening now. We're not getting these huge drops and then quick rejections. So this shows that there's a ton of buyers sitting there waiting to absorb these sellers, and in turn causes a reversal. So huge selling volume reverses immediately from buying volume. Again, huge selling volume reverses immediately from buying volume. Huge selling volume. But what happened here, guys? We didn't get that huge reversal from buying pressure. Now we're consolidating at the level. So this shows potentially that there's a lot more sellers than buyers, or there's just an absence of buyers here. So that means that we could definitely see a pretty much an overpowering from the bears, from the sellers, and we could see a huge drop off after a serious break of 104.5. So this is a good sign, guys. This is definitely leaning towards our bias, leaning towards a giant short opportunity. So that's something that we want to see. Definitely something we want to see. So I'm going to drop down one more time frame here to get a closer look at all this crap going on, because this is just chop, chop, chop. Kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders almost, but it's not. It's kind of just all over the place. So let me clear this up a second here. We'll draw some new zones or some new trade scenarios where we think price action could be going. All right, so this is all chop, right? All this is just ugly, in my opinion. So go back to the 4-hour. We cleaned it up a little bit. So when things start looking ugly, jump up a time frame. Jump up a time frame, make sense of things, simplify things. And what do we see off the bat here that looks a lot better on this 4-hour? Potentially a channel. Let's see if this makes sense. Yes, it does. 3 rejections, 1 including this recent volume spike. No coincidence, guys. This trend line is parallel with this 200 EMA, and we got massive rejection off this little pocket of confluence. Broken support, new resistance, 4-hour break of structure, retesting, 200 EMA, fib level in there as well, resisting trend line. Good confluence, guys, right? Good confluence. So let's see where we could get an entry. We want to find key levels of resistance in a nice pocket of confluence again that we could potentially enter on. Actually, I just want to see if this is a nice, if this is a parallel channel. I just want to see if this makes sense. So it would be something like, whoops. Could it be this wide? Yeah, it probably would be something about like that wide. Pretty wild, actually. I bet you there's an inner here on a lower time frame, but whatever. Just for the sake of analysis, this makes a lot of sense. It's a nice defined channel that kind of fits our scope of the trade here. So in that sense, let's go ahead and mark it up. What do we want to see? Lower high, guys. Lower high below this 1 hour. That's what we're interested in. Something like that. And actually, this could be a much lower target because, again, it's a major break of 104.5 if this happens, especially if we get that rejection in this whole pocket here. And then you could target towards, daily zones even because, again, this is a major level. Could see a serious fall off from here. I just want to go ahead and mark one more thing. I just want to see if this is a little supporting trend line. Just want to see if this will be more accurate on a lower time frame, but it's, I'm just going to draw it for now. It's fine. I want to see a clear break of that as well. So a clear break of this, just another level of confidence, to enter this trade once I see this break as well. Supporting trend line. Guys, this could be a really nice trade. Let me throw a fib on this real quick. This was probably a 38.2 hit already. Yeah, it was. So this was already 100%. If we're talking closure, we close at the 88.6 and then reverse from there. So if we saw a lower high, that would pretty much be off the 61.8. So this is where we're looking for shorts. I'm going to clear that up just to keep things simple. This is where we're looking for shorts anywhere in here. Any sort of rejection in this pocket. Whoops. There we go. 30%. Close enough. There we go. That's what we're looking for short opportunities. Closure below this, a little bit lower high off this 1 hour, and then we're shorting all day. So yeah, this thing looks clean, guys. I mean, UJ's shaping up pretty nice. All right. And right, long opportunity. What needs to happen for us to consider long? Or going long, rather. This is what would need to happen right here. Break higher above this 4 hour, higher low, enter on a bullish setup, MA cross preferably as well, and then target towards key resistance, 106 being our first major resistance level, and then of course our weekly zone at 107. Looking good though. I mean, this UJ looks pretty damn good, guys. I like this short opportunity a lot. Again, we've been expecting that, so this is nice to see. Maybe this volume will have enough to start, breaking some support levels here. All right, so that's UJ. Let's move on to EJ, and then we'll wrap up with gold. And all right. So EJ here, daily time frame. We were very bearish, clear channel, very nice one actually. Then we got that change of trend right here once this weekly lower high was broken, confirmed it with a weekly higher low, followed by a rally into our monthly zone around 126.5. All right, so had a huge rally, had a nice slow reversal, nice little change of trend here, got a lower high. So let's drop time frames and take a look at this piece of price action here. So here was that reversal off the monthly, broke through these higher lows, which were daily higher lows, came down, found support, came back up, tested the daily, formed this little range, and then finally broke the range with some good bearish volumes. We had this lower high, broke right through these 4 hour higher lows. Right, so we got a daily trend is bearish, 4 hour trend is bearish, weekly trend is bullish. So we're looking to make a play into this weekly support zone to test this weekly break of structure. And honestly, this is shaping up perfectly as well. EJ is looking nice. I mean, we just had a break of this, these 4 hour higher lows. So it's a 4 hour break, right? So it comes down, forms a low, reverses slowly, perfect. Volume steps in, it rejects right off this 4 hour zone. This is great. This is what we want to see. So we can actually drop to the 1 hour here. we could be identifying a trade pretty damn soon here. Let's go ahead and expand this just a little bit. I gotta adjust this for the 1 hour. Shit. 1 second, guys. I'll redraw this for you as well. It's just, it doesn't scale. Like when you jump through time frames, your drawing tools just get all distorted. So let me just redraw this here. All right, this looks a little bit better. A little bit better. All right, so, and we'll jump to the 4 hour in a second. Anyway, so let's just check this out. This is the nice little key level, 122.2. Nice little pivot level to be aware of. All right, perfect, good. So what we want to see here is pretty much, so right now it's dancing around these MAs, right? That's really not what we want to see. We want to see the MAs kind of point a certain direction. We want price action to pick a direction, show us, with some good setups, show us some conviction, and then we can enter on a lower high, some sort of structure. So right now this is definitely looking short. Let me go to the 4 hour for a second here. See how much more sense this will make. Okay, so we have tons of indecision. That much is clear. Wicks to the upside, wicks to the high, wicks to the low, tons of indecision. So from here, we just want to see some sort of confirmed lower high below MAs. So we're getting structure formation, 38.2, positive rejection. That's fine. From here, we just want to see an MA cross with some bearish setups, bearish conviction to enter on. And then this could be a really great trade. So let's say we get a short right here. Nice short opportunity presents itself right there. We're looking to go for about 140 pips. What is this? 140 pips, risking 60. Potentially your stop loss could be a little bit closer. It all depends on where that entry opportunity presents itself. But either way, well over 2-to-1, guys. Well within our risk rules. So could be something nice playing out on EJ here. We'll see though. To go long, look at long opportunities. Look for a higher low back in this range, right? Look for a break back into the range. Look for a higher low. And then more conservatively, wait for closure above this 200. I mean, ideally, we would like to see price action creep a little bit to this 4 hour zone. Maybe, break that zone, consolidate, give this MA a chance to catch up, and then blow through it, after a higher low is formed. So that could be a nice long opportunity. Target towards the top of the range into this daily. And you could have a nice little long opportunity. Counter trend trade, but still a decent trade with a good risk reward nonetheless. So let's go to the daily, check our zone, see if these targets make sense. We have a lower high right here. If it follows anything like we saw over here, break, retest, followed by another impulse move to the downside, this could definitely be a nice move into our weekly zone that we'll be there to capitalize on. If it reverses, breaks above the 4 hour, for it to fill this range is very likely as well. I think they're both great targets. Now we just got to wait on execution. All right, so that's EJ. We're going to wrap up with gold here. I think that's it. I mean, this has been a full hour already. Seems like it went by quick. Went by very quick. All right, guys, we're finished up with gold here. Overall, super, super bullish. Not much else to say about that. Let's get into closer price action. We recently had a break up 1800, rallied into 2070, got a nice ascending triangle. Key support was 1930, lower highs, slamming price action into that support level. Finally broke it, gave us that daily transition with the daily break of structure. And then we just got consolidation after that. So let's go ahead and drop down on that. 4 hour time frame here. So expand a little bit. Here was that descending triangle. The huge rally. Key support 1930 right here, this blue zone. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Here's the break. There's the break right there. Price action comes back down, finds a low, pulls back, tests our daily twice, confirming broken structure, rejects, and then just consolidates, bounces off this daily zone, bounces off this 4 hour zone down here, whole bunch of times, hasn't broken this range. Granted, you guys could play the range if you want. You could take trades within this range as much as you want. It's up to you. If you see the right setups, go for it. It's your tolerance, your risk tolerance level. I like to be conservative, and I'll always wait for a break of a range. I'm not trading this while price action remains in this range here. Okay, so ideally, This could go. I mean, this could go either way. It could flip either way, guys. I mean, I'm only interested in taking trades after we see a higher low, after this daily zone breaks, or looking to enter on a lower high after this 4-hour zone breaks. Those are really the only two I'm interested on gold right now, because I mean, gold is just a speculator's dream, man. This thing just runs, because once volume kicks in on gold, this thing just starts flying, and it can stop on a dime, give you all these fake outs. I just am not interested in trading in range. I just really want to wait for something more clear, a little more clear. So let's go over targets on the daily time frame before we wrap this up. See if these targets make sense, if our analysis makes sense according to the overall time frame, or higher time frame. Right, break the downside, lower high below this 4-hour. To find a target at this weekly support is very likely, and then potentially even lower towards 1800. Seems pretty good. Or if we're going long again, wait for a higher low above the daily, and then we're targeting all these prior highs in here. So this prior lower high, this prior lower high, this prior lower high, and then of course the 2070 high, if we see enough momentum pushing price action to get there. All right, so that's gold, guys. Quick recap on all the pairs I just covered. DXY. I kind of want to do the 4-hour on this. Never mind. DXY, massive rejection off this damn 4-hour. Look at that. AU, AJ, UJ. Whoops. UJ. Look at that wick. My God. EJ and gold. Yeah, look at that. Look at this wick on UJ here. Absolutely nuts.
It shot up a little bit, right?
90 pips. Yeah, it shot up and then rejected that 4-hour. So, guys, I mean, I think that's definitely the takeaway from today, is that news accelerates the trend. Just all that high volume is speculation. That's guys just jumping in on some emotion or just trying to catch a quick buck, guys. So, speculation, news just accelerates the trend, guys. Keep that in mind, all right? And yeah, so that's all the pairs we prepared for you guys. I mean, here, you want to share up? I'll let you share.
I'll go ahead and
But
wow. Close at that level. Yeah, DJ just closed well. So I'm actually looking at this. We had a trade earlier this week on UJ, which we took a little prematurely up here. It actually ended up presenting an entry right here. Use this.
Crazy stuff.
So we had this 1-hour break structure to the upside, formed this higher high, pulled all the way back to this area, and then we crossed the moving averages right there. And then that's when this thing actually took off 300 or 600. So that was a little trade on UJ. Let's see. Boom. So yeah, if you guys didn't post your name in there for the giveaway, make sure you post your name in there. We're going to post all of our analysis in the premium analysis for today that we went over, any potential opportunities. If you guys want to get in on that, just come over to the Start Here tab. Premium analysis is just $7, one-time fee. If you guys want to get in on signals, or it will signal anything that comes out today, it's just $75 per month. You can come in to the Start Here section and get started with the signals. Just use this checkout tab. And as always, if you have any questions, just hit us up after this session. Hit us up in Discord. It's the best place to talk to us. For those watching the replay, we appreciate you guys showing support, coming on. The analysis is still valid later today. So because we did cover the higher time frames on most pairs, so the analysis is still valid later today. We'll be on tomorrow, the same time, 8 a.m. EST. Here, I'll drop the Discord link right here. So there you go. So yeah, we'll be on tomorrow, same time, 8 a.m. EST for the last session of the week. And we'll keep you guys posted in the Discord. So make sure you guys are in there. And that's pretty much it. So enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Oh yeah. These guys are trading. Trade carefully.
Trade carefully.